one goal for today, and that is to pull some TMNT characters from Shards. Hey you guys, it's Cece. Welcome back to my channel. For today, I am playing on my server account, and the thing about this account is that there's no events and no tournaments. So right now with the TMNT collab, I can't actually participate if there's a fusion going on or a hero path or anything like that. Instead, I have to kind of rely on shards. So we're gonna go ahead and pull 50 sacred shards today and see if any of these TMNT collab characters show up. Let's get into it with these 50 sacred shards and hope that, like I said, TMNT is the goal, but if not, maybe some new legendaries would be pretty cool as well. And as always, I do think it's important to mention there is no boosted rates on this account, so I cannot pull during a ×2, progressive, anything like that. What we see is what we get. And we're starting with Fane, who you can actually get by using my link, actually. So she is the champ you get at level 20. Now, if anything else, maybe we will get some good epics. I am wanting to actually pull a man-eater at some point in time. Hopefully that happens, but never mind all that. We got a legendary. So the legendary that we got is actually Noct the Paralyzer. Now, I do have this champion on my Thor account, so it is a champ who I'm very familiar with. I use him, I have built him, but I don't mind pulling him here either. So first skill, attacks an enemy, 50% chance of placing a 50% decreased accuracy debuff for 2 turns. Attacks all enemies with a 75% chance of placing a sleep debuff, 2 poison debuffs, places 2 additional poison debuffs for 2 turns whenever a sleep debuff is placed by the skill, is removed or disappears after the enemy takes damage. You ever, I guess it's me, but sometimes when I'm reading their skills out loud, I'm like, tongue twister, it's a paragraph. Also has ally. I'm gonna summarize, I think, from here on out with it, but we do have 50% ally protection buff. Now this is on everyone except this champ for 2 turns, and a continuous heal buff on all allies as well. However, it has a passive which heals this champ by a certain portion of the max HP, and then all allies except this champ by 1% of HP every time poison debuff ticks. So I will say one thing about this champion. I use him as a part of my poison team. I use him in my dragons team, actually. So a champ who I have, I would love to see some new legendaries. Nonetheless, though, I'm happy pulling any and all legendaries. I realized I missed, I started pulling and then I didn't hit record. Luckily, it was only an epic. But what I was saying was, I know I said Man-Eater and a few other champs I'm thinking of. Now, I understand that is a Void champ. I cannot get him from the Sacred Shards. But just thinking along the lines of champions I would like to see for this account is kind of what I was going with there. There's probably a few other epics I wouldn't mind either. Corpse Collector. I'm thinking something I might do is seeing which teams I can make just within a faction. So like making a dungeon team out of only like Sacred Order, only Orcs, depending which champs we actually do get to pull. Of course, that does require me to build them, but I think it'd be kind of fun just to test it out and throw it out there. Is it going to be content that will help you out and be like, yeah, you should do this? Probably not. It's going to be more so for fun and just seeing what we could do with it, ideally. So within rates also, the last time I pulled Sacred Shards here, I think it was 100 Sacred Shards I pulled the last time, and we were right within the rates, so we'll see with this time. I also asked myself if I wanted to do all 50 or if I wanted to do half, but you know what, we'll go in with all of them. All in with our sacreds, all 50 of them, and see. And again, I'm not upset with getting knocked because I wasn't here. I can kind of play around with that build as well. I just would like to see somebody else. And again, I'd like to see some of the turtles because right now I only have Michelangelo on here. So, ooh, one that I haven't pulled or seen. Mathias Blackflail. So Sacred Order. Let's see what you do. First skill, attacks an enemy 3 times, 30% chance of removing a random buff from the target. Also heals this champ part of the damage inflicted. We also have an AoE. Extra hit under no buffs. It will ignore 20% of the target's defense. Also gonna heal allies. I mean, the healing is nice. 50% increased resistance buff, reflect damage buff on all allies for 2 turns, taunt buff on this champ for 2 turns, counter attacks with the Dark in the Sky skill when hit well under a taunt buff placed by this enemy. Oh, interesting. Okay. Overall thoughts. There's a few places I can use him. I can make use of him in some dungeons. I don't know if he's a really standout though, compared to like some other legendaries here. I feel like, you can correct me if I'm wrong, he's kind of mid. I mean, Fire Knight, I can see some uses. I could see him being useful in other places in dungeons as well. But I'll be honest, not a champ that I'm like super, like, it doesn't excite me as much. You know? You know what I mean? When you pull a legendary and then you read them, you're like, well, again, maybe I'm wrong, but I'll see. We'll build them. We'll build them and see kind of what we want to do with him. Rockbreaker, look at your mask. Little dwarf. He's so cute. Some of the champs, honestly, I feel like I would build simply on looks alone. Like, some of them is kind of like, eh, but others, I'm like, love the animation, love the art. I will build you simply for that. I don't know, maybe. Hey, wait, wasn't that one for Mikage? Honestly, if I get everything I need for Mikage on this server account before any of my others, let's see, hang on, how far are we from? Oh yeah, oh, I've pulled her twice. Well, let's get back in with the Sacred. I just got her, no? Wood painted? I feel like I'm having deja vu. I feel like I just pulled her, like with some of the previous ones. Now, I'm not really going over the epics. I know there's probably some good epics in here and some that I may eventually play around with. I think that's gonna be dependent on when I'm actually working on said specific teams to go ahead and use them. Until then, we're looking for gold. Specifically, give me the turtles. Give me the turtles. Ooh, legendary? No. The delay. You thought too. Oh, I see. You guys thought too. It wasn't just me, right? Right? A leg sometimes. Another lich? I think I just pulled you. I'm getting quite a bit undead. Oh! Donatello! Yeah! We actually got one, you guys. Yes. Now, I understand he was the fusion, but as I said, I wasn't able to actually do it. So now I at least have 2 turtles. Really gotta hope when we do the Void Shards, we get Leonardo there. Hopefully, maybe even Raphael out of here, but hey, at least we got Donnie here as well. So of course, I feel like we've all been talking about Donatello because he's a fusion, but we have ally HP in battles by 30. We have a first skill, which is going to heal everybody. Also activates a random continuous heal buff on all allies. Love that. We have an AoE decreasing the cooldown of ally skills, and then an increased speed buff, which is always nice. And then a cleanse in here with a continuous heal and a strengthen buff. And the passive, which is if you have other turtles, they're going to join in on the attack. There is also an active effect. Super excited to see Donatello. It was the writing on the bottom, by the way, that gave that away to me, which you guys probably as well. But I mean, I feel like it was kind of a long, I'm not going to lie to you guys. Going into this, I was like 50 shards. It's a long shot, hoping for a turtle. But the fact we actually got one is pretty cool. Now, again, next up, hope would be to see Raphael. And then with the Void Shards, the hope there would be, of course, to pull Leonardo. That one's not going to be today, so you guys got to subscribe to see if we can carry over this turtle luck into there whenever I do end up pulling the shards for those guys. Wait, you look cool. From the back, Sonic the Hedgehog. From the front, really cool blue flames. I swear, Shadowkin has some of the coolest looking champs, if you were to ask me. Bannerlords, they all have their look. To be fair, they all have their look and their vibes. And even Sylvan Watcher is kind of cool. Sometimes when I pull these champions too, I look at them, I'm like, oh, this would make such a cool cosplay. And then it would make a cool cosplay. I just haven't actually followed through with any of the ones that I've seen. You also look super cool. What is up with all these blue flames we're seeing? Sylvan Watcher wouldn't have been my first. Well, I guess, yeah. But the skulls inside with the blue, if it was green, maybe. But he also looks kind of cool. I'm telling you, sometimes I want to build champs on looks alone. The fact I have another taunt and strengthen, and I feel like I don't have many champions that actually do that. But in this session, it's like, here's some taunt. Here you go. You need this. Okay, we have 10 shards to go. Technically, I completed my goal, so I'm actually super happy about that. But of course, we're going to keep going. Let's see. Within one more, I think within one more, then we'd be like within rates. So say if we only get 2, what are these, 7 shards? One more? One more? Come on. One more. Then I feel like it's not that far off getting 2. Because realistically, we could have also gotten like 0. That would have hurt a little, I think. But although I'm also, there you go, within rates and Ultimate Death Knight. Oh, I so wish this was on my main. No, he was before I was actually playing, so it didn't use this champion, but I feel like Ultimate Death Knight is a really, really good one. Actually, what I'm very excited for. Let's take a look at these skills. And I think I said fusion. Now, I can't recall. I don't know if it was fusion, login, what he was, login champion, or if he was a fusion. Regardless, it was before I started playing. Now, ally defense in all battles. Attacks an enemy 30% chance of a provoke debuff. The chance increases to 55 against a legendary champion. Okay. Attacks all enemies with the chance of decreased attack debuff. Also a fear debuff if they're a legendary. I don't think I've ever actually read his skill. As excited as I am for this champ, I've never read his actual. Places a shield buff and continuous heal buff on all allies for 2 turns, proportionate to this champ's defense. And then the passive Too Awesome to Die path. I've come across this many a times. Early on when I came across him in arena, actually, when I was like a new player, I was like, wow, what is happening here? Now I have him. That's still pretty exciting. What I was going to say is, ironically, with the other pulls, it's champs I already have, so I never got to, like, as excited as I would be to get them, I technically have them on account. I built them, gotten to play around with them at least. Ultimate Death Knight is one that I don't have anywhere. And Yugo also one you get with my link, actually. Level 10 for Yugo. Love Yugo, use her everywhere. And we have our last 2 shards. Oh, Deacon Armstrong. And that's the only thing when you pull on other accounts. You have FOMO between your other ones. I need him on my other account, but he's also really good. And that does actually bring us to 3 legendaries right within the rates, to be fair. Which we are... Oh, 4! Oh, awkward. I forgot about this guy already. Sorry. You guys are probably watching this too, being like, Cece. 4 legendaries. I didn't have Mathias Blackflail, but I also didn't have Ultimate Death Knight. Very excited for that one. Also, yeah, Donatello and Noct all being new, so at least I have these 2 hurdles. The goal was actually accomplished for today, so next up will have to be the Void Shards to try to continue on with this quest. If you download Raid Shadow Legends using my link, I'm actually going to start you off with the free legendary champion on day 1. And then at level 10, level 20, and level 30, you'll get yourself an epic. That is 4 amazing champions that you can get just by downloading using my link. I can't believe that we actually did it and got someone. I want you guys comment down below and let me know who is the one collab character right now that you really want and hope to get on your account. If you haven't gotten them already, comment that champion down below. And be sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss out when I get into those Void Shards and continue my hunt, this time looking for Leonardo. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!